on, let's get it on. Forget the loss, the money, we're in this together and through it all. They said that nothing's forever, and they refuse to see the change in me. Why won't they wake up?
Ladies and gentlemen, your favourite British commentator is back. Oh yes, I am sorry for being gone all this time, but this is Rotation Roundup for League of Legends featuring me, Doubles 900 aka the Experto. This is where you can get all your handy news and all your handy stuff about the rotation of this week. Now, as no further ado, let's get on with it. Now we're going to kick things off like we normally do with the champion rotation of the week. What week is it exactly? It's week 58, and the rotation looks like this. This week we have available to us Annie, Blitzcrank, Master Yi, Morgana, Rammus, Warwick, Kog'Maw, Lux, Caitlyn and Maokai. Now, with this selection this week, I like to call this a classic rotation. Why? Because it has a lot of the classic champions with us. We have Annie, the classic mage, Master Yi, the classic DPS, Blitzcrank, the classic diverse champion, Morgana, classic mage, Warwick, classic jungler, Rammus, classic tank, and then you got Kog'Maw, Lux, Caitlyn and Maokai that are like the new generation trying to get with the old. It's quite nice and I like it. Your thoughts about the rotation? In the comment section below, as usual. Now let's carry on. Now ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing something back this week. This week I'm going to be asking the question. And this week's question is quite a big one. And it's about global ultimates. Do you want them to return? Now, the two biggest global ultimates that have been affected by this recently are Twisted Fate's ultimate and Pantheon's ultimate, Grand Skyfall. I've been playing as both Twisted Fate and Pantheon, and I could say that it doesn't really affect me that much, but for some people it really does, and it was really their unique thing. So we really want to get your guys' opinion on the matter. Do you think they should bring back those global ultimates just so that they have their own thing and those champions have their own diversity, or do you think this new form of their ultimate, which isn't as global but still has a huge range, do you think this is the right way to go, and do you think that they should persist with this in the future in case obviously they want to make more champions with big range ultis? What is your decision on this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I've asked the question. And it's this time again, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the moment you've all been waiting for. It is the Champion Rotation Lowdown, where we have a look at every champion and tell you big bits. Oh yeah, time to get it on. Starting off with Annie. Well, who hasn't learned Annie by now? I mean, seriously, she is a brilliant mage. Little terror, if you know what you're doing. Absolute little terror. She has burst damage up the butt, and she can literally come out of nowhere and burn you to death. You just got to keep in mind, after she has after she's used 5 spells, she stacks up, and then her next spell will stun you. Regardless of what spell it is, it will stun you. And most Annie players tend to stun you with the fireballs, which she throws at you, and then when you're stunned, launch tibbers and everything else at you. So be very careful about Annie. Burst damage queen? Maybe. Now let's move on to Blitzcrank, the most diverse champion in the League of Legends in my opinion. I love Blitzcrank to bits, and I have his legendary skin, which I will possibly show off in a video in the future. Now, when it comes to Blitzcrank, you can build him in many ways. He can be built as a tank, he can be built as AD, and he can be built as AP. So be very careful, because he is incredibly diverse for what it is. The main thing you gotta watch out with Gangplank is his huge burst damage potential. Like his combinations will normally be Rocket Grab, where he'll shoot his fist and grab you, and then he'll use his Power Fist to knock you up in the air, and that doubles his attack damage, and I mean doubles it, so it literally is an ability without sheen. And then what happens after that is he normally tends to cast his ultimate, which is a huge burst radius, and then silences you for a short period of time as well. So you've got to be incredibly careful with Blitzcrank. When you deal with this robot, well, you better have some oil or some toilet paper. You know what I'm talking about. Now, Master Yi, the Ruju Bladesman. Everyone loves Master Yi when it comes to DPS, and I think we've all tried him at least once when we first started League of Legends. I like it because Master Yi is a very nice starter champion, in my opinion. Now, Master Yi is the king of speed. Why is this? Because his ultimate makes it so that he goes incredibly fast. As well as being incredibly fast, he is immune to all slows, and as well as this, he can also, if he kills a champion while his ultimate is casted, his cooldowns are immediately put back to 0, so he can use his ability, any of his abilities again. However, if he gets an assist, they're halved. So be very careful when you cast his ultimate, because he might be looking to get kills, and then once he gets one, he'll just keep charging, and possibly get the penta. Don't let him do it. Yi is dangerous. I don't know what happened there. Morgana, the Fallen Angel. Now, I haven't seen Morgana 3 in quite a while, but that's just me, really. Morgana is a very, really well done mage, and that's the Postman, so I'm gonna have to be uppy. Curse you, Mr. Postman! Anyway, back to business. Morgana is one of the best mages out there, and not many people tend to play her in games, which is quite sad, which is why I like to see her free this week. Her combination is very deadly, snaring you so that you stay in place, then casting a pool around you so you're going to be constantly damaged, and, well, she also has a spell shield, and you know what that means. Yeah. She's basically going to help people escape and make people immune to everything whilst there's a team fight, so be very careful of Morgana. She may look a little bit fragile with those broken wings, but damn, she knows what she's doing with them. Better get some toilet paper! Anyway, let's move on to Rammus, everyone's favourite armadillo. Why? Because, well, he loves armour, and that's his passive, isn't it? The more armour he has, the more damage he can deal out, which also goes well with his ultimate, which is, basically, he pounds the ground into oblivion for a short while. What this does is, it damages all units, champions, and even buildings within a local vicinity for a short period of time. Rammus might be a tank, but if he's got enough armour, he can start doing some very serious damage, so do not underestimate Rammus just because he's a tank. Because the more he tanks, the more he bloody well punches you in the face. So be very careful about Rammus. He is a very underestimated little armadillo of fun, and I suggest everyone to at least play him once to understand how to build a tank. Now let's go with Warwick, which is actually one of the... he's one more of the fun champions. He's also the first recommended jungler in some cases. Now Warwick can be a jungler, he can be a laner. The only differences between lane wick and jungle wick is that jungle wick will have smite to help him out with the jungle and obviously get more gold at a faster rate. If he's laning, he'll still be a deadly threat, don't get me wrong. But in my personal preference, I prefer Warwick as a jungler. Why? Because he jungles so well and so really well with his passive, which basically his passive is a lifesteal, and every, I think, 5 levels, correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but every 5 levels that lifesteal stacks up, and so basically you can just build him straight up at attack speed if you really wanted to, just so that you could suppress people into oblivion. What I like to do is give him attack speed, frozen mallet, give him a little bit more damage dealing potential as well as this, and then just mix and match him depending on the situation. I also like people that play him as tank wick. Damn, Warwick is actually really diverse, and so if you've got a chance this week, play as Warwick. Try jungling, even if you're jungling for the first time, just try it out. But Warwick will definitely be a good champion to play as this week. Speaking of another champion to play as, Kog'Maw, the Mouth of the Abyss. Now, I do like Kog'Maw. The best builds I've seen for him are pretty much hybrid builds, because hybrid builds incorporate his mad ability to use attack speed, and as well as this, also his mad ability for AP, and with attack speed and AP in Kog'Maw's hands, damn, he's formidable. He might be squishy, but with the attack speed incorporated with his auto attacks, and he'll just keep pounding you again and again and again, and then when you're running away he'll cast his ultimate and then just go right over your face, but it will do a buttload of damage on you. Kog'Maw is very underestimated. He is very hard to learn though, as a hybrid, so you might want to try him out as a DPS or an AP beforehand, but if you can master him as a hybrid, he is a master of the mid, just letting you know. Speaking of mastering the mid though, how about Lux, the Lady of Luminosity? Now, I have never played Lux until this week, and I was thinking to myself, screw it, I'll try out Lux for the first time. I tried out Lux, damn, I love her. I absolutely love her to bits, and this is why. Lux is a really, really nice mage. I just like it because you can give her items for benefit AP as well as cooldowns, and when I did this I ended up making it so that her ultimate, which is her laser as everyone calls it, her laser of ultimate ponage, or penta laser as I've heard some people call it, I basically got its cooldown down to 10 seconds, so that every 10 seconds I could just cast a laser. Yes, it costs 150 mana, but doesn't matter with Lux when you got that much regen. No. So, be careful of Lux this week. She has very good suppressing abilities, and if you don't watch out, her laser will indeed blow your face off, so be careful with the Lady of Luminosity. Now let's move on to the Sheriff of Piltover with Caitlyn, the only British champion in League of Legends, unless you're playing as Gentleman Cho'Gath. Keep that in mind. Now Caitlyn, I do love Caitlyn. She is a very strong AD carry, and she can be a pain in the butt if you're not careful. Her Q is very damage dealing from the get-go, and then when she gets her ultimate she'll be casting that off to either scare you or to deal a wonk of damage to you during a team fight, or to even kill you if you're on low health and running away. The range in her ultimate is quite big, so if you want to try and escape it, be very quick, or if you want an easy way to survive, try and get the tank on your team or a tankier person on your team to take the blow for you, and you can stay alive and run away and live for another day. So there you go, really. And last but not least, we have Maokai, the Trusted Treant, which is personally one of my favourite tanks. He can go tank, he can go AP, he is a really nice tank, and I would suggest at least the tanky people to try out Maokai. Now Maokai, when it comes to him, when he goes tank, he's an incredible tank. Like, he can take a buttload of poundings and still stand afterwards. Well, he is a friggin' tree, I mean, come on, trees are awesome. But when he's AP, damn, he's formidable. You put him in a solo lane, he'll ace it. You put him in a lane with someone, he'll ace it. You put him in a lane in mid, just put him in mid. Try Maokai out in mid. I dare you. Try AP Maokai out in mid and tell me he isn't a formidable midder. Do it. Do it now. Just be very careful of Maokai. He has a lot of splash damage potential and a lot of suppression. So you want to be careful when a Maokai is on the enemy team, because you're going to be suppressed up a butt and you need to make sure you're ready for that kind of thing. Merc treads. Okay, so that's the rotation of this week, ladies and gentlemen, week 58. If I've missed anything out, or if there is anything you can post to help out the people with the champions of this week, all you need to do is post your comments in the comment section below, like you do, because a strong community is a community that fights together, plays together, and has fun together, because as we all know, fun is the most important aspect of gaming in the end of the day, isn't it? Yes? Yes it is. Now let's move on. And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, it is my time to end. Thank you very much for watching, and yes, I have just stolen that off of Top Gear. It has been a wild ride. If you do want to know why I was gone all this time, by the way, leave a comment in the comment section below. I might make a separate video for that, or just post a bulletin up on YouTube or something, just to let you guys know what was happening. As well as this, also follow me on Twitter. The Twitter details will be on screen right now, and I will see you guys next week. So, goodbye, fair strategists, goodbye, and I'll see you guys on the fields of justice. Shaken.